Hello, everybody. I want you to listen to what this guy says. There is a lot of sense in what he's saying, but of course, many people will not understand it. And even when I talk about this revolution, I always point it out. A revolution without plan may fail and it will be a disaster. So watch this video before I'm also going to say some things after the video.
There was a revolution in Egypt. After the youth gathered, they carried out a massive revolution that removed the leader of the country. The president ran away. What happened? There was no plan. There was no exit strategy. The military took over the government. Even the NSAS was SARS ended. They only changed the name of SARS to SWAT. And the same police brutality continued. Also in Thailand, between 2020 and 2022, there was a massive youth protest. At the end, the government was able to quench everything. Their energy, their resources, and their lives were lost, and nothing was achieved. The same thing happened in Iran in 1999 and also in 2022. After the whole protest, at the end, no positive result is usually achieved. The Gen Zs came out in Nepal recently. They carried out a massive protest and everywhere was shaking and they were able to remove the government. Guess what is currently happening in Nepal? The youths are now clamoring. They are crying that the government that is coming now to take over is not also carrying them along. That is why I've always said that the problem is not those.
Okay.
The problem is
I believe all of you have listened to what this guy says. Sometimes the problem is not actually this government. The problem is the people sometimes. You see, every average of Nigerian youth has this kind of mindset. Exactly this thing that this government is doing right now. And that is why you also see some of these youth, saying that, supporting this government, despite that they know that things has gotten so bad. And when I come out to talk about revolution has to be planned. Because revolution without plan will also end up as a disaster. So whenever we come out to talk about revolution, it has, a lot of work to do, because there must be unity before revolution can be carried out. Because if you are in a revolution in the middle of where we have, a lot of tribalism, religious war and all that, at the end of the day, it's going to be a disaster. So revolution that we are talking about is something that has to be planned. Then if revolution cannot save Nigeria, then the only way to save Nigeria is for the North to live on their own. Then the West, or the South, should live their own. Then the East will live on their own. Right? I don't know if I'm making point here. So revolution we are talking about is not just, it has, just like Very Dark Man said, the people you are trying to lead for revolution are not even ready. So sometimes I even feel like, the worst has never happened, and that is why Nigeria is still the same way. That is why you still some people, going on social media and, fighting for tribalism and the religious war. Because we have to come together if we really want this country to work. Then if we really don't want this country to work, let everybody go on their own. Let's separate. It's not a must that we must remain in Nigeria. We all must remain the same. We all must remain in the same country. So the revolution we are talking about has to be planned. Because like I said earlier, revolution without plan will turn out to be a disaster. So my message to all Nigerians this morning is that we have to remove our, this religious war and tribalism and all that, and comes together if we want this country to work actually. A lot of work has to be done, to change some mindset of some Nigerians for the country to move forward. If not, it will be just a complaint every day by day, and things will start, we keep getting worse than every day. So every Nigerians must change their mindset of this tribal war and religious war, and try to understand that everybody is facing the hardship in the country, irrespective of your belief or, your ethnic group. You're suffering it. Everybody is suffering it. That's what you all must understand for us to have, to achieve results if we carry out this revolution.